everyone, and welcome back to Law Statistics. I hope you all are doing great. Today's presentation is based on a very famous case, that is Lalita Kumari versus Government of UP, the case of 2014. This case involved various provisions of CPC related to FIR. So let's proceed towards the presentation. Section 154 Clause 1 and Section 157 Clause 1, which generally talks about FIR, and the FIR is basically of two kinds. Duly signed FIR under Section 154 Clause 1 is by the informant to police officer, and second kind of FIR is one registered by police itself on any information received other than by way of any informant. Registration of both kinds of FIR is obligatory. Whereas Section 156, Section 154 and Section 157, which talks about power, role and duty of police in respect of FIR. Police officer cannot avoid his duty of registering a FIR if cognizable offence is disclosed. Action to be taken against erring officer who do not register FIR on receipt of such information. Section 154, which talks about FIR. Main object from informant point of view is to set criminal law in motion, and from point of view of investigating authorities to obtain information about alleged criminal activity, to be able to take suitable steps to trace and to bring a book the guilty. Section 154, Section 155, Section 156 and Section 157. FIR in cognizable case. Registration of whether is mandatory or police officer has option, discretion or latitude of conducting preliminary inquiry before registering an FIR. Mandatory registration of FIR on receipt of information disclosing a cognizable offence as the general rule. Section 154, which basically talks about the definition of FIR, nature and requirements of FIR. There must be information and it must disclose a cognizable offence. Section 154, Section 155 and Section 172. Promptness in filing FIR. Compulsory registration of earliest information as FIR. Twofold objective which are discussed are criminal process is set in motion and is well documented from very start, preventing embellishment, letter, ensures transparency in the criminal justice delivery system and functioning of police. Also, Section 154, which talks about compulsory registration of FIR. Historical background of this provision and corresponding provisions existing in previous enactments of the Criminal Procedure Code, examined legislative intent in both old and the new code is for compulsory registration of FIR in case of cognizable offence without conducting any preliminary inquiry. Section 12, which talks about procedure to be followed during investigation. The object is to set the criminal law in motion and to provide for all procedural safeguards so as to ensure that the investigation is fair, is not malified, and there is no scope of tampering with the evidence collected during the investigation. Furthermore, Section 166A, which talks about punishment of non-registration of FIR for cognizable offences specified under Section 166A IPC held, does not imply that registration of FIR is not compulsory for offences other than specified in Section 166A IPC, and police has discretion to hold an inquiry if there is a doubt about correctness of the information given under Section 166A of IPC is to read in consonance with Section 154 Clause 1 of CRPC and not contrary to it. Now I will take into consideration a very important article of our Indian Constitution, that is Article 21, which talks about protection of life and personal liberty. Procedure established by law. Registration of FIR before investigation. The right of the accused under Article 21 is protected if the FIR is registered first and then the investigation is conducted in accordance with the provisions of law. Also, Section 154 talks about duty of police officer to register FIR on information disclosing a cognizable offence. Word shall occurring in Section 154 Clause 1, which talks about nature of literal construction held for cognizable offences, a duty has been cast upon the police and thoroughly register a FIR shall given its ordinary meaning of being mandatory in character regard to context in an object with which word is used and consequences following infringement of the direction to register FIR ascertained. Mandate of Section 154 Clause 1 held does not confer any discretion on an officer in charge of the police station for embarking upon a preliminary inquiry prior to registration of FIR. Section 39 and Section 154 Clause 1 shall occurring in both provisions relevance. It would be incongruous to suggest that though it is the duty of every citizen to inform about commission of an offence under Section 39, but it not obligatory for the officer in charge of a police station to register the report under Section 154. Section 154 and Section 2 Clause G, Section 159, Section 202 and Section 340 talks about inquiry and preliminary inquiry under Section 2 Clause G. Distinguished from acts envisaged under Section 154 held inquiry in Section 2 Clause G is relatable to a judicial act and not to the steps taken by the police, which are either investigation after the stage of Section 154 or termed as preliminary inquiry prior to the registration of FIR, even though no entry in the general diary station has been made. Section 154 and Section 1 Clause 2 and 5, which talks about FIR in cognizable of case, preliminary inquiry before lodging FIR, roles in CBI Criminal Manual, applicability of Section 154 of CRPC, contention as to rejected, held CBI Crime Manual cannot be relied upon its import, concept of holding preliminary inquiry into the scheme of CRPC. CBI Crime Manual is not a statute and has not been enacted by the legislature and is a set of administrative orders issued for internal guidance of CBI officers. It cannot supersede CRPC. Powers of CBI under Delhi Special Police Establishment Act 1946 cannot be equated with the powers of the regular state police under CRPC. Section 154 and Section 172, which talks about recording of an FIR book and general diary. Distinguish between FIR is to be registered first in FIR book. In addition, gist of FIR may also be mentioned simultaneously in general diary as mandated in respective Police Act or rules of state concerned. In case of inconsistency between provisions of Section 154 of CRPC and Section 44 of the Police Act 1861 with regard to whether FIR is to be registered in FIR book or general diary, provisions of Section 154 shall prevail and Section 44 of the Police Act 1861 shall be avoided to the extent of the repugnancy, as Police Act 1861 being an existing law must be given way to CRPC 1973, a law enacted by Indian sovereign parliament. Hence, contention that information will first be recorded in the general diary and only after preliminary inquiry, if required, shall the information be registered as FIR rejected. Section 154, which talks about general diary, held or all information relating to cognizable offences, whether resulting in registration of FIR or leading to an inquiry, must be mandatorily and meticulously reflected in the general diary, and the decision to conduct a preliminary inquiry must be reflected therein. Also, Section 154 and Section 41, which talks about form and language of FIR, information related to commission of a cognizable offence, mandatory duty of police under Section 154 to register FIR upon receipt of expression information in Section 154 is not qualified by prefix reasonable or credible. Distinguished from use of such expression in Section 41, Clause 1, Subclause A and Subclause G as they understood before Act of 2009, and Section 41, Clause 1, Subclause B of Subclause B, A and G as they stand after Act 5 of 2009. Held reasonable or reasonableness or credibility of the information is not a condition precedent for the registration of a case under Section 154. 154 Duty of police to file FIR on receipt of information disclosing cognizable offence. Mandatory nature of maxim exprosia unius est excluso ulterius. Information provided about commission of a cognizable offence must be registered as an FIR, and every cognizable offence must be investigated promptly in accordance with law. The court held that there is no discretion or option left with the police to register or no. Furthermore, Section 154, Section 41, Section 151, 157, 173 and 438, which generally talks about mandatory registration of FIR before conducting preliminary inquiry. Apprehension of misuse by indiscriminate arrest in violation of rights of accused under Article 21 of the Constitution held is misplaced. Sufficient safeguards exist against misuse, abuse and arbitrary exercise of power. The court held arrest of a person and registration of FIR are not directly or irreversibly linked, and they are entirely different concepts operating under entirely different parameters. There are several safeguards available against arrest. Besides, CRPC gives power to the police officer to close a matter both before investigation if it appears to him and there are insufficient grounds to investigate the same. Sufficient safeguards are provided in the Criminal Procedure Code 1973, which duly protect the liberty of an individual in case of registration of false FIR under Section 154 of Criminal Procedure Code 1973. That's all for the presentation. I hope it was knowledgeable. Thank you and have a great day.